Hey VC, it's Joe coming at you from Planet 13, and this is my contest entry into You Say It's Your Birthday that's being run by Rachel, the Music Ma'am. If you're not familiar with Rachel, I'll leave a link below. I'm sure we're all familiar with her by now if we're part of the vinyl community. She's just tearing it up. She's just putting out a ton of awesome content, just some fantastic videos, a lot of diversity to her videos, and she brings a lot of outside influences into her videos as well. I really enjoyed one recently where she was discussing the Silver Surfer, and another one where she was just discovering, places she's traveled to, and just bringing in culture into her videos. And she brings in this contest, she brings genealogy into the mix. So I just love that about her videos, and I love her sense of humor. Her opening to her video is just awesome. It just makes me smile every time I see it. Just a lot of fun stuff with Rachel. And I could go on and on about Rachel, but I'll just let her videos speak for themselves. Click on the link below, visit her, and yeah, you will be fascinated and entertained for sure. So just getting on to the contest. The first question was share an artist or someone involved in the music community who shares the same birthday as you. And I want to again thank Rachel for having this contest because for years I thought Willie Nelson and I shared the same birthday. I'm born on December 6th, 1976. And when I was a kid, I'd get the newspaper and I'd read it. And they always tell you who was born on that day. And on December 6th, I remember seeing Willie Nelson's name. And going into this contest, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this, no problem. Willie Nelson was born on my birthday. So I just did some quick verification. And no, he wasn't born on my birthday. So for like 30 years, I've been telling everyone, yeah, me and Willie Nelson share the same birthday, but not true at all. Not even close to my birthday. He was born in like April, so like 4 or 5, 6 months later. So thank you, Rachel. Now that I got the record straight, I won't be lying to people anymore. Someone who was born on my birthday, which I did know, was Randy Rhoads. He was born, I think, in 1956 on December 6th. So unfortunately, we lost Randy Rhoads in 1982. He was around 25 years old. He died, unfortunately, in like a plane crash. They think, because no one survived the plane crash, that he was doing like a little drive-by stunt with a nearby pilot just to scare the bejesus out of Ozzy. Ozzy was sleeping in a trailer. They were on tour, and he wanted to do, like, they think, a drive-by like prank to wake Ozzy up, with a loud whoosh of the airplane. And the plane clipped a house or a trailer and crashed, and unfortunately everyone on the plane passed away. And yeah, Ozzy hasn't really been the same since. Ozzy to this day, just still mourns for his little buddy, Randy Rhoads. And I say little buddy because Randy Rhoads was about 5'7" and he weighed 105 pounds according to the Wikipedia article about him. And Randy, really only shined on the first two albums before he passed away. He was in Quiet Riot before this, but I guess Quiet Riot was a little more restrictive of what he could do. And when he got together with Ozzy, he was kind of given more freedom. And that's where, we heard the amazing guitar work of Randy Rhoads. And the next question is discuss an artist who died on the same day as you were born. And for me, that was Roy Orbison. I only have a Traveling Wilburys album by Roy. I don't have any other solo material of him. I do have some tracks by him on some compilations, like the Blue Velvet soundtrack. But Roy also died away tragically quite young. He was 52 at the time. I thought he was a little bit older, and I think that had a lot to do with the breadth of his work. He, just seemed like someone who'd been around for a long time. He put out a lot of content. And I think the sunglasses, and me being quite young when he passed away in 1988. So I was, not even a teenager then. I'd be about, I can't do the math. But I'd be pretty young. So back then, 50 was kind of old. People didn't live as long. Now, people are saying 30 is the new 50 and 45 is the new 65. Back when you were 52 back then, you were kind of feeling a little bit older than you do now. Everyone's a lot more youthful now, I guess, due to better diets and better health wisdom and such. And Roy Orbison was a heavy smoker. He unfortunately passed away of a heart attack. And he was just on his he was just making a second wave again. He was making a huge splash again. He had a solo album and he had success with the Traveling Wilburys. So it would have been fantastic to have seen what he would have carried on with. He had such a beautiful voice. You know, if he probably lived longer, I probably would have saw him in concert for sure. You know, I'm a big Roy Orbison fan, even though I don't have a lot of his work. He was someone I would have definitely wanted to check out. The next question is discuss some artists that your parents liked. So my dad's favorite artist is Marty Robbins. He's just a huge Marty Robbins fanatic. He doesn't have a lot of Marty Robbins albums. He had some albums growing up. And there was a big controversy in my household because he had a Hawaiian Marty Robbins album that went missing. And he's been furious about it for the 3 decades since it's gone missing. Fortunately, I was never a suspect because, you know, I lived in the same house with him. So he would have found the album. And my brothers, he just figured one of my brother's friends took the album and he couldn't figure out why because my brothers are teenagers and he's like, why would a teenager be into Marty Robbins? But to this day, my dad still has never solved the mystery of where this album went to. It was taken right off his turntable, which he had in the basement. And no one really went down in the basement except my brothers to do their band practice and such. So my dad was huge into Marty Robbins. I've always meant to replace that vinyl for him, but he doesn't have a turntable anymore. And the album, you know, I was looking for years for him and I could never find it, but I found it on CD for him about 20 years ago. So he had been listening to that. Now he just kind of watches Marty Robbins videos on YouTube. My mom, on the other hand, never had a favorite artist. She just liked music in general, particularly like country, a lot of new country and a lot of old country. We watched Hee Haw a lot together when I was a kid. And we watched other things like Shana Na, and we watched the Mandrell sisters, Barbara Mandrell and or her daughters. I forget what it was. We just watched a lot of that stuff. Variety TV, the Osmonds, we'd watch that. Just a lot of that together. She always enjoyed that kind of stuff. In the morning, she'd listen to a country music station. She'd listen to Billy Ray Cyrus. And now she listens to more talk radio, but she watches a lot of Entertainment Tonight. So she's familiar with like Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga. She knows all these songs. She's turning 80 this year and she's just, you know, familiar with everyone. But yeah, she never was really into any artists. She had a few cassettes, Anne Murray and stuff, but, you know, nothing that, you know, that stood out. And, you know, she just liked everything. She also likes a lot of hymns. She always goes to church and stuff. She just loves her hymns. She misses that right now because, you know, pandemic, you can't go to the church. And she just doesn't want to Zoom things. That she doesn't like the technical stuff. And then the final question was give a shout out to another channel. My channel I'm giving a shout out to is called The Collector's Haven. It's not specifically about vinyl, but it is about collecting people with people's obsessions about stuff. So it's this guy. He's only got 42 subscribers right now, and he's just interviewing people who have like huge collections involving something specific. So one episode, it could be someone collecting Smurfs. Another one is like NASCAR die-cast cars. Another one is like X-Men collectibles. And he's only got, I think he's got about 12 episodes right now, but they're getting a lot of views. They get hundreds of views, but only 42 subscribers for the channel right now. And you know, I find that channel rather neat. It's just neat seeing other stuff people are collecting. And I'll leave a link for that below. So once again, thanks Rachel for having this contest. It was a hoot to do this. And until next time, cheers.